All right, so this is going to be a fun one. We're going to be talking today about 3 different perspectives and business strategies for your WordPress freelancing business. And I think the second one is probably going to be a surprise. And so the reason that I wanted to bring this up is because everybody tends to think that the best thing to do is to serve the client and to focus on the client, focus on getting outcomes and doing the best work that you can. And so today what we're going to be talking about is the me, myself, and you business strategies. And so where kind of do you fall in the mix of all of this? And I think you're going to find that there's one perspective that's going to be a little bit surprising. So let's just jump straight into it today. And so the first one is, I'm kind of putting my thoughts together on this because I talk to a lot of WordPress developers, and as you know, I take a lot of phone calls from you guys here in the group, and it's been awesome getting to know you and talking about your business and helping you kind of make some forward progress with the kind of stuff that you're trying to do. And one of the things that's been really surprising, not just with not really with people in this group per se, but as I go to meetups, like I was doing a WordPress meetup Wednesday night, and I did another one last week. So I do a lot of these meetup groups and talk to a lot of folks. And one of the things that's really surprising about it all is, all of the people tend to kind of fall into one of these 3 categories that we're about to go over. And the first kind of business structure is totally like the me focused business structure. And that is, it's kind of like, for example, I was talking to a guy who says, here's what I said, tell me a little bit about your business. What is it that you do? Who do you work with? Tell me, kind of give me some background. He says, well, here's what I do. I build, websites, and I kind of shoot for 5 pages, about $100 per page. It's a $500 website. I can add e-commerce to it, and that kind of makes it $1,500. And, if that sounds like something you want, good. If not, kind of take it or leave it. And so that's kind of like, here's what's in it for me. If you want in, then, let's do it. Right. Just kind of like the no nonsense, here's what it is, take it if you want it kind of approach. And maybe that works, or maybe it used to work. I think perhaps it might've used to work in the past a little bit better than it does today, because, a lot of people say, hey, you know what? I want a 5-page site. I want a link for my business card. I just kind of want an online presence of some sort, just so I can say that I have it. And that that kind of a website might be appealing to those types of folks. So but it's really just a me focused kind of thing, because even though you want to do a good job, you want to make a nice looking site, you want to do something that's high quality, you're not really taking any time to figure out what you can actually do to benefit the client that you're working with. Like what kind of outcomes do they want, or pretty much nothing. You're like, here's what it is, kind of take it or leave it. And so that's an approach that doesn't really work very well anymore. And the reason it doesn't work very well anymore is because if that's what somebody wants, you can do it yourself. You can go to Wix, you can go to Squarespace, and business owners and people that kind of run their own businesses can do these kinds of things on their own for free, right? And so like if you're trying to compete with that, then the value of that, it's really, really low. It's like, in fact, even the person I was talking to that offers this kind of a thing, they know it's low. And so they charge like $500 for it. And so you're just kind of saving somebody the time of, doing it themselves. And so if that's the kind of thing that you're doing, you're going to have to find a lot of clients. If you like, say, for example, a lot of people I talk to, they really want to kind of ramp their revenue up to get to maybe 5K per month, maybe 10K per month. And if that's the kind of revenue you're trying to generate out of a business model like that, you have to land so many clients and build so many websites. And even if you could do all of that, and even if you're kind of, you're certainly going to be burning yourself out doing that. But even if you could do all of that, you're still not actually helping the client. It's a very me-centered thing. And so, what can you do to stay in business, to build websites? So that's one. But here's the surprising one. The second shift, the second kind of category that I wanted to talk about. This is the one where you feel like you're really focusing on the client. You feel like you're in it for them. You feel like you're trying to do the thing that's right for them. And here's what it looks like. It's like you sit down at a client meeting and you say, tell me about your business. Tell me what you want. And try to get the information out of your client as to what they want from their website, what they want it to look like. Are there any other sites around that they kind of like the look of, that maybe you can kind of mimic some of those design features in their site? Have they thought through what kind of pages they want to put on, and that kind of stuff? And so you really feel like you're you're asking questions and you're trying to get information back from it's dramatically different from that first approach where you're like, here's what it is, take it or leave it. You're actually trying to pull out some information from your client, and then they begin to tell you what it is that they want. And then you begin to say, okay, that sounds good. Here's, I can do these things. Well, this is another me-centered approach, but it seems like it's not. It seems like it's a client-centered approach when the reality is it's not actually that. And here's the reason why. It's because oftentimes clients will tell you things that they think that they want, but it doesn't actually help. And so, for example, the client could say things like, I've got, an about page and I have this contact form that I want to put online, and, whatever it might be, here I've got some Word documents set up that I kind of just want to get that content out there, to tell about our business and so forth. And you're kind of listening to it and you're like, okay. And, they send you some links to sites that they like, and you're kind of looking at them, and you're trying to do your best to incorporate all of these design features into what you deliver. And you think that you're helping, but really you're not helping, because at the end of the day, you're going to launch this website. It's going to sit out on the internet and no one's going to go to it. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to have any sort of impact on the business that you're working with. And so that's a really big problem. And so then you think to yourself, well, why did I take on the business on the first one? So why is this a me-centered approach when I spent all this time asking the client what they wanted? The reason is it's because you're just doing it because you can, right? The focus is really on, this is a project that I can take on. I know how to do these things. And if I take on this project, then it will keep me in business to do it again for the next client, the next time somebody comes through. And what it's not doing, you're not focusing on what's your client going to get out of it. Like, suppose you do the best job there ever was and you actually implement all the little to-do items on the technical to-do list to implement this site. And then what? Right? So who's going to be there to cultivate any sort of a business strategy, to keep working on it? All of the strategies and ideas that came together while you were talking about the website, like why they wanted to put the website online in the first place. Who's going to do the stuff? Most of the time, the business owner, your client's not going to do that kind of stuff. They don't know how. They don't have the time. They're doing something else, which is why they hired you. But you can't do the stuff because oftentimes, the price is just too low to be able to commit the time and energy that's required to do more than just build and launch the site. Like there's not enough there to actually, work on an ongoing basis with your client to actually generate more calls or generate more leads or get more people into the store or find more clients or raise the value of the clients you're already working with. All of those types of things, which are really meaningful, which is what your client really wants. Nobody's there to do that stuff. And that's the problem. And that's why it's a me-centered approach, because, you're listening to the client, they're telling you what they want, but really you're only doing it to stay in business. You're not doing it for their business. You might be doing it to kind of keep the relationship going. You want to be nice to them. In fact, they might even thank you for the website and feel like you have a good relationship there, but you're not really focusing on the client. And so that's what the big surprise is. The big surprise is, and the vast majority of people that I talk to fall into this middle category here of what they feel like is a client-centered approach, but in reality is a self-centered approach and business strategy to be able to basically be able to say yes to the clients that you're working with. And one of the telltale signs of this is you're not making an offer. They're making the offer to you, and then you are accepting it. So you're kind of sitting there, they're saying, here's what I want this, that, and the other. And, I have, $1,000 to spend on it. That's my offer. Will you take it? And then you then say, yes, I can do those things. I take it. And then you kind of move on into the implementation phase of the project. And so all of that is to say that wouldn't it be so much better and a more high value option if instead of having that kind of me-centered approach, you actually literally and legitimately focused on the actual client and actually uncovered the things that they really want, because the bottom line is they don't actually want the website. And so like in that middle approach that we were just talking about, when you're asking those questions and you're like, tell me what you want, and then they are in the context of a web development meeting with a web developer with you, and they say, well, I want this page and that page, and these sites look nice, and this contact form, and I've got these Word docs or whatever to put on there, and here's our photos. All of those types of things, those aren't actually things that they want. They want the outcome of having done those things. And that's a really big difference. And the difference is, do they get clients, or does the website just sit on the corner of the internet feeling lonely because nobody wants to come visit it? That's really the big issue. And so if you want to shift into developing a high value business, not just for yourself, but for your clients too, what you really need to do is shift into a leadership role. Turn the tables 180 degrees, flip the whole situation on its head so that you're the one leading the client rather than the client leading you. So rather than your client saying, here's my set of features and here's the price that I can afford, will you accept my offer? How about you be the one making the offer, saying, here are the things that you should be doing to actually grow your business. Here's what the investment is going to be. And, the results are there. So like, as you begin to do these things, they begin to see the kind of business results that they're looking for. And that's going to set you apart from literally 99% of the people, I would think. I mean, most of the people on Upwork, the people selling $500 websites, people selling $1,500 websites, you just can't deliver that kind of an outcome for any kind of a low ticket price. And what I'm saying is you should be raising your rates and commanding these premium prices because you're delivering premium results. And if you're delivering a website that just sits on the corner of the internet that nobody goes to see, that's a low value thing and does not command premium prices because there are no results. Maybe the extent of the result is a link to put on a business card or a flyer or the footer of your email or something. But it's not actually the kind of thing that's driving business into your client's business. So you're not getting more clients. You're not increasing the value of the customers that are already there. You're not connecting with the new audience. You're not doing any of those things because nobody's doing anything. You're just putting the website online and launching it. And then, some people feel like they've, done a really good job because they've got this maintenance package on top of it where they're charging for hosting and plugin updates. And, they're maybe $50, $100 a month or something like that to kind of keep things rolling. And, they feel happy, now I've got recurring revenue. But wouldn't it be so much better to get like $500, $1,000 per month on that recurring revenue and only spending, 5-10 hours per month doing it, but somebody's there to actually continue to foster the types of activities you want to happen on the website. The business outcomes, the results, the meaningful stuff that really matters, why they want the website in the first place. And if you deliver that, then everything changes because now you're delivering results. Nobody else is delivering results. That's a huge differentiating factor. And that's why you can charge the premium rates for those premium types of services. And on top of it, it actually attracts premium clients because in that sort of a situation, everyone is winning. Because in the middle situation, you might feel like everyone's winning. It might feel like you're building the kind of website that your client wants. They're happy with you. They're excited. They feel, blessed because they have a website that looks better than they ever thought. And they're feeling good about the whole thing. They would continue to work with you if they want updates, that kind of stuff. And it feels good, but it doesn't produce results. And if it's not producing results, it's not going to produce premium rates. And if it doesn't produce premium rates, then you're living in a low value business and you're going to keep struggling, making about $3K per month. And so if you want to double your income or triple your income and be able to do better for yourself, better for your clients, better for your clients' customers, the whole chain of everybody does better if you charge a high value rate, because that gives you the time, the ability to really do just amazing work for your clients. I was on the phone with somebody yesterday and I said, what do you feel like is if somebody's serious about their business, what can they invest with you so that you can do some good work? And she said, if somebody invested, say like $4,000 or $5,000 with me, I could just do amazing work for them. They would be blown away. It would be an amazing situation for me, amazing situation for them. It would just be great. And it's true. But if somebody comes to you with like, $500, $800 or whatever, and they ask you to do something, nobody can do anything that matters for $800. So wouldn't it be better to be able to offer something that does matter? And instead of just kind of putting this, this patchwork together, here's a couple of pages, this will kind of get you by for now, instead of wasting, and then of course, if you do something like that, and then they come back, 6 months or a year later, and they say, now I'm really ready. Well, then most of the time you end up trashing the original site altogether and then doing what you should have done the first time, when they come back. And so wouldn't it be better to offer something that's transformational from the get-go, and like it fundamentally transforms the way that they do business, even if it's in an incremental step, right? So you don't have to drop a $30,000 proposal on the table on day one, but instead offer things that actually matter for driving the outcomes that your clients are looking for. And so that can look at all different kinds of things, right? It could be heavily into digital marketing. It could be even offline related things, trying to find venues for speakers to speak at, and or sponsorships or whatever, to kind of get, to raise awareness of your clients. I mean, there's tons of different things that we can talk about that will enable you to keep working with your client after you launch the site, that will drive the kinds of results that they're looking for. And then as they begin to get results, they can then work with you to do even more. So that relationship can scale over time. So even if it starts at, say, $500 a month or something like that, and maybe a $3,000 site, then you can scale it to $1,000 per month. As you get results for them and start raising their revenue, then they can then hire you to do more things. And so if you're making more money for your client, then you're charging them to do the work that's generating those outcomes for them. Everybody wins. So like the tide comes in and it lifts all the boats. But if you're in that middle section where you're just trying to do the best work you can, you legitimately want to help, you're a nice person, you care about who you're working with, but you're not delivering anything that matters, nobody wins. Even though you're trying to be nice and good and do the right thing, it's not actually helping. And so if that's the kind of shift you really want to make, to be able to figure out, well, what are those business packages? Yeah, I want to do that. I want to make $3,000, $5,000 per site with, $500, $700, $800, $1,000 per month retainers. But you don't really know what kind of offers that you can put together for the kinds of clients that you're working with. Well, that's absolutely the kind of thing that we can talk about. So if you feel like you're kind of stuck and struggling with that, and you're accepting clients at a significantly reduced price because you feel like if you raise your rates, they're just going to go build the site themselves or work with somebody cheaper. And so you feel like everybody's getting a good deal but you, and you're kind of frustrated with, the clients that come in that just don't feel like they don't really have the commitment to do anything because they don't really see the value in what you're offering. And so therefore, they're kind of just dabbling with you and kind of stringing you out. If that's the kind of stuff that's frustrating to you, well, let's work together and fix that so that you can make these high value offers and establish these long-term relationships with clients so that everybody starts winning, so that you're winning, you're getting compensated fairly for your time, they're winning, they're getting you customers, their customers are winning because they're buying services, they're becoming customers, and the reason they're doing that is they like the stuff that your client does. And that's really the bottom line. It's like your clients probably do pretty cool stuff. I know my clients do really amazing things, like life-changing types of things for folks. And they're getting clients because those clients like those services. But without your help, everyone is going unserved. Everyone. Like you're on an act. There's a mission for people. Like the whole reason I wanted to put this site, this community together, is because I fundamentally believe that people like us that we have a mission to accomplish. There's businesses out there that need your help, that to reach the kinds of people that they can help. And there's all these people sitting out there that could be, having their lives made better by the types of things that your future clients could be doing. But without your help, everyone's going unserved. You're sitting there struggling and suffering and, you're trying to make ends meet on $1,000 websites or whatever. Your clients are suffering because the sites that you're deploying aren't actually drawing in new clients. So now their business is suffering. And then the customers that they could be helping are sitting there unaware of your client's business because nobody's doing anything to really drive traffic to the site and convert that traffic into customers. So everyone is falling apart, right? So I believe that we have this mission to fix that because the WordPress ecosystem is bigger and better and stronger than anything has ever been before in the history of the internet. There's no time in the past where it was easier and more accessible to achieve these kinds of results for your clients because things that used to be hard, hosting and security and keeping plugins updated and all that stuff, that's automated, problems are solved. There's so many plugins that can do so many things with e-commerce, with email marketing and drip campaigns and sales funnels and all of those types of things. There's so much availability out there and so many tools available, more so now than ever before. And I believe it's our responsibility to learn how to take those tools and do better for our clients, do the kinds of things that bring in new clients for your customers and raise rates and raise revenues so that everybody is winning and everybody is happy. And so that's what motivates me to show up and do these training sessions and to work with you guys to kind of get your business into this WordPress freelancing 3.0 mindset. that, and we kind of talked about that before. If you haven't seen that video, go back and check that out. WordPress is really, freelancing has kind of shifted through these like 3 different stages. And I've been doing this for like 16 years, and I've been part of all 3 stages. And I'm most excited about the one that we have today. So if this is the kind of stuff that you want to talk about, and you like want to raise your rates, you want to do better for your clients, and you want to put together these packages that both enable you to charge a high value rate for the initial development of your business, of the online platform for the businesses that you're working with, and keep you in touch with your clients and interacting with them on a month-to-month basis with these high value retainers, and then let's talk about that. Head over to doublestack.net/call, and you're going to see my personal schedule. I've made my schedule available for free. These are totally free. I do this because I fundamentally believe in it. I'm 100% committed to helping you. Like if this is the kind of stuff that you want to do, I'm totally committed to helping you do this. And so you can call me. We can talk one-on-one for free. We usually talk for about 45 minutes, and we go over this stuff like, who are you working with? What's kind of your target market? If you have a target market, maybe that's something that you want to think about. And the market doesn't have to be industry specific, by the way. It can be, like you may say, okay, yeah, I want to work with doctors or whatever, but it doesn't have to be that way. It can be the case that the services that you really specialize in and you want to provide, they could apply to multiple different industries that all want a similar kind of outcome. So it could be an outcome specific niche as opposed to an industry specific one. And so that's something that we can talk about and figure out, what are the prices you can charge for that? How do you extract those kinds of ideal clients out of the general market so that you can have these long-term high-value relationships? How do you do all of that? And what are the business packages that you could offer to those people? So if those are the kinds of things that you want to talk about, then let's do it one-on-one. You go to doublestack.net/call. You'll see my calendar. Pick a time that works for you. And then we will, the next thing you'll see is a little form where there's a couple of questions to answer real quick that, give me like a link to your website if you have one, and just a little bit of background information about what you're doing, so that when we get on the call, it's just going to be a really valuable thing for you. And so that's how I'm here to help. So if that sounds like something that you want to do, let's get on the phone and do that. And also, if you happen to be catching this video, go ahead and give me a high five, boop, or say hello, or just drop your name just so I can see here in the comments who's watching and who's on board. And if you have any questions, if we've kind of raised some issues here with this particular training session, and you have a comment or a question you want to leave, go ahead and leave that here too. I'll keep an eye on it throughout the week. Hey, Rebecca, good to see you. I'll be seeing you again soon, I think, too. So it's good to see you. And so go ahead and just say hello, and we'll connect. Hey, it's Stephanie. I haven't talked to Stephanie yet. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining in. Hopefully we'll be talking again together soon. So it's been really fun. I'm really looking forward to this. So I know that we've got the weekend coming up and everything. So if we don't talk on the phone before then, I know like my schedule is like totally packed right now. I know there's a ton of people trying to connect on these phone calls. And so if you don't see a time right away, then it might get bumped out a little bit. But it's the kind of thing, and it's just me. I tried to scale my schedule even more and make as many openings in the schedule as I could. And now I'm pretty much maxed out. And so I can't really push it out any further, because it's literally me. It's not any of the other guys at work here or anything like that. It's you and me. We're going to be talking about your business and these types of things. So if you don't see a time slot, that's like tonight or tomorrow or whatever, it might be bumped out to the beginning part of next week or whatever. But definitely go ahead and pick a time so we can get on the phone together and sort this stuff out with you, and kind of get you going into this new way of thinking about yourself, the new way of thinking about your clients, a new way for your clients to see you. It's a fundamental shift in the way that you run your business, so that you can start attracting these high value clients and getting the rates that you're really worth. So all right, guys, it was been great talking to you. And again, go ahead and definitely leave a comment if you have any questions. And until we talk again, a high five for the weekend. Boop. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you again soon.